It's a unique architecture. You can drive from far and you can see the towers.
We would never want to compare ourselves with the person that, you know, lives across the road.
It's not just a building, it's just a place of my life.
They can carry me out in a cardboard box when I'm done, you know, but I love it here.
I'm very happy to live at World's End.
Honestly, I couldn't want to live anywhere else. Up in Bradford in the back streets, and the community there was really tight. You belonged to your street. So I grew up on those streets in the 50s and the 60s, and this is the closest I've been to that sense of tight community. I think we are extremely lucky the way it has been designed, though that was quite accidental, and also because of the fact that they have got really good facilities for everyone, for the elderly and also for the young. I was so lucky, you know. I was 23 and I just started a young family. We were just blown over actually because we desired to move there so much, unlike a lot of people, because they were put off with high-rise living. And at the time, there was a lot of the punk revolution going on, and we were party to Sex on the King's Road and also Acme Attractions on the King's Road. It was very vibrant, all of that area, very alive, and the estate also reflected that. And we liked the fact that there was provision for children as well, with the Chelsea Boys Club, it was called then. It's now the Chelsea Youth Club, and also Flashpoint for children, mother and toddlers playgroup. There was everything, jumbo sales every week. So it had a very good, and still has a very good community feel. I couldn't really complain, to be honest. And high-rise living was fantastic because our little boy, Jesse, he used to ask for books about a little boy who lived in a tower block, and we could never find one for him. So my husband is an artist, and he made these beautiful water paintings. We did a book. We did books for Jesse, and the first book we did is called Jesse at the World's End. And we also started this voluntary group, the Society of Action for Children in Tower Blocks, and we campaigned for better facilities, for a concierge service. And the council listened to us. The council were very, very enthusiastic and encouraging, and they still are, and they listen to us. I love the architecture. I just love the way it has been designed. It is a unique design. Nobody would ever design anything like that, because it's not designed to save space or anything. So it does lend itself to the human creativity. Because when the COVID first came, I was very vigilant, and I went into total lockdown. And I think, like a lot of people, in retrospect, I think I was a little bit over the top when it comes to the way I locked myself down. I'm a qualified personal trainer, so I could walk thousands of steps just up and down the flat, you know. Could get my exercise in. I love to cook, so I was doing lots of cooking, just like back in the day when I was doing lots of cooking, and I had my punk kitchen, and the kitchen that you'd have Johnny Rotten or Johnny Lydon sitting there, and Don Letts and Jeanette Lee and Stephen Rayner from Acme Attractions. Everyone would be there, and I'd be cooking up all these kinds of meals. Then one day I actually had to go out. It's as if I'd never seen people before, literally. It was like, everything was just weird, because it's like, It was like, you know that poem, is it by Robert Louis Stevenson, about the naughty boy? He ran away to Scotland to see what he could see. And he found that the ground was just as hard, that the door was as wooden, and that the cherry was as red, and the sky was as blue as in England. And he stood in his shoes and he wondered. And that's what I was like. It was like everything was the same, but I thought it was going to be different somehow. But it was the fact that it all seemed the same, I found a bit weird. And I think during the first lockdown, it became kind of, you didn't know which camp you were in. Either you were in the mask camp or the no mask camp. And you could be in trouble whichever camp you were in, because neither was safe. And my poor friend, she had to go to the hospital, and every time on the bus there was always a fight over masks and things like that. I don't think people are so divided over masks because they got more used to them. But in the early days, you know, it was more like that. You did. That's part of the reason, really. It just become more too cultish, really. Which group are you in? When I'm on the train at Clapham Junction and that, you can see the estate popping through the buildings, and I'm always looking across the river to our beautiful estate, and then along the line you can see it. And when you're on Battersea Bridge or the Albert, the beautiful, glorious, sparkling Albert Bridge, you can see the Wellsend Estate. I love the Wellsend Estate.
I tell you, all I can remember was my eyes were just wide open. My eyes were just wide open from excitement. Everything was just shining bright white.